Hey, welcome guys back to Musings of Maverick channel. Maverick here, ready for the final 2 episodes of Your Lie in April. So, per your guys' suggestions, I will be watching this back to back, right? Because I feel like this is probably the proper way to deal with an anime that has an emotional ending. You know, in a sense that I was already spoiled to the ending of this, right? Even though I've never seen it before, I don't know what happens. I've been told time and time again that the ending of this is very emotional, whatnot, and coupled with what happened at the very end of last episode with Kaori's situation and all, I think it's pretty. I think I have a pretty good feel on what's going to happen here. And so, I will fully admit, I've been kind of avoiding this as well, in a certain sense. You guys know how there's this type of situation where, even though you really want to know what happens, but you also don't know what happens, right? In a certain sense. So I will admit that I was kind of putting this off for a while. And another part is that, well, even though it is an emotional anime, as I'm told, I'm not really the most emotional person, right? Especially for you guys who have voted for this series and who have been my viewers for quite a while now. You probably know that I am not exactly one of those emotional reactors, right? So, in fact, I had made a bet with one of my friends as to whether or not I would actually shed tears for this anime by the end, right? And my friend bet yes, I bet no. So, we'll see what happens, right? I think there's only been one anime I've watched where I've actually, literally had tears coming out, and that was actually Gintama, right? Because even though that is a pretty absurd anime, when it gets emotional, it gets effing emotional, right? So, we'll see here. I will fully admit also that, I think I got emotional like twice already up to this point, but we'll see, right? We'll see. So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. In fact, what do you guys bet? Am I going to cry or am I not? Let me know. Right. So it's impossible that she's going to be just gone immediately, right? Yeah, he knows. So he actually still has the piano competition. They're probably gonna work that into it somehow, aren't they? Okay, let me skip this real quick. Sato. Kosei's probably like, don't talk to me right now. Just damn. It's really like a crutch. Oh. Full face again. If I were to venture a guess again, though, Kosei's probably still going to be able to talk with Kaori. Again. Maybe be the final... some final encouragement for Kosei to get back on his feet. Saving him one last time, something like that. Requested. Okay, so she's conscious. Okay. Look at the grayscale on her. In this entire room, actually. Is he literally carrying her? Aww. Wait now. Ooh, it's even snowing. Alright. No. Music takes them away from me? How'd you get to that kind of conclusion? I think that pretty much counts as an internal confession. Does it? Doesn't it? Maybe? And like I said, right on the competition date. Hmm. She wants to play the violin. Ah, oh, that color shift. Hmm. Try saying it loud for once, Kosei. Wow. Really at the same time. How are they? Seriously? I got a feeling he's probably going to put on the performance of the lifetime. His lifetime. What? What in the world is actually going to happen? Or is he gonna just mess it up again? And yeah, that's like the exact same thing that happened. Huh. Ah, looking up. Good. Actually, don't even have any idea what he's going to play. Oh, I guess that answers the question. Chopin Ballet, eh? Yeah, I agree with that. This is actually a perfect piece for this. I know you guys are. I kind of want to just listen to the music. Well, hey, we got over this episode. Alright, I'll have a quick something to say at the end, but then we'll just jump into episode 22. Alrighty, so that was episode 21. I said that I will be entering episode 22 immediately, so I'm just gonna keep this brief, but there are 3 things that I want to mention, right? Number 1, I love how, even when coming into this episode, I was sort of like, am I supposed to be, quite solemn here, with Kaori's situation and all that? Doesn't really seem to be a laughing matter, even if I try to bring out energy or whatnot, is it really appropriate? And so, in a sense, it's kind of like how Kaori admonished Kosei, right? It's like, why are you so gloomy around me? Cheer up, laugh, and whatnot. And that there was a certain point there where you could feel the resonance, right? Because we're not supposed to be feeling as down, and we should laugh, we should enjoy the show while it's still here, right? So I did like that sort of transition and that kind of parallel there. And of course, also, as I mentioned, the color tone, the shift in color tone from being grayscale or whatnot, and all dark and dull, and then lively and colorful and bright, that contrast there. And second thing I want to mention is in regards to Tsubaki, right? It's quite fitting that she was the one who broke Kosei out of his slump, in a sense, right? Of course, she's not the only reason here, but still, considering that she is the one who stayed by him the longest, in a sense, it's sort of poetic justice. Probably isn't the right word to say, but I'm struggling to think of a better way to describe it, right? It just feels right that she was the one to do it, right? Regardless of whether or not they actually form a relationship in the future or not, it felt right for her to be, the one who snapped Kosei out of it through all this time, right? And lastly, just a quick note on the musical piece that was chosen here. So Chopin, one of Chopin's ballads. The reason I said that it's actually quite fitting and quite appropriate here is because Chopin's ballads are kind of special in a way. I mean, all of Chopin's music are quite special, but Chopin's ballads don't actually have any deeper meaning within them. When Chopin was writing them, he didn't go into it by saying, okay, this is the story that I want to tell. He simply composed it, and of course, personally, I feel like he probably had a story within his mind while he was composing it, but he never actually told anyone else what exactly his story was, so it left it up to basically anyone's interpretation as to what it is. So you could essentially think of it as a blank slate in a kind of way, right? So it's literally the perfect device for Kosei, in this kind of emotional scene to fully express his emotions. And this works on 2 levels, both on, the meta level, which is This is him expressing his mourning, his emotions and whatnot, and also on a second level to really drive home this story that Kosei is now not just this sort of robotic pianist, right? He's one who plays with emotions and, you know, painting with the colors of music and all that. So it's quite fitting that they chose this kind of piece for, I'm assuming to be the last piece that we're going to be seeing within this this anime, right? I actually, you know, I feel like next episode we're probably going to be continuing the piece. Otherwise, I don't know. Like, personally, I wanted to hear more of it. It certainly seemed to be a pretty good interpretation. I liked it much better than some of his other previous works. So, I wanted to hear it. This was a time where what I was trying to say at the very end there was that I kind of want you guys to shut up and let me listen to the music. So, hopefully we will be able to listen to some of it more in the next episode. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. Well, I guess that's that. See you guys again.